My lover left me suddenly. How do I get over the pain of parting and the shock of abandonment? As strong as love and the sincerity of feelings is the pain of abandonment and parting. Love makes you feel like you own the world, and then abandonment overwhelms you, as if you are an invisible point that no one cares about. The impact of the shock of abandonment does not stand at the limit of suffering longing, building new habits, forgetting the beloved, but goes beyond it to problems of trust. A person's self-confidence is shaken. He loses confidence in others, his heart closes with a loss of trust and love. The outlook on life changes, depression, and a lot of stress creep in. But the shock of abandonment can be overcome, and heartbreak resulting from separation or treachery is repairable. The Arabs were even setting an example of strength by saying it's like reparation after a break. You're not alone. Most people have been exposed at one time in their lives or more to the pain of abandonment, parting, or separation. These experiences help emotional maturity if handled correctly, and in this article, we highlight ways to recover from the trauma of abandonment of a loved one. The pain of parting and the shock of abandonment of a beloved. Studies have indicated that breaking up with a romantic partner can lead to increased anxiety and depression, as well as problems such as sleep disorders. A study conducted by the American University of Florida found the influence of stress hormones on the response after an emotional breakup, where an increase in corticosterone levels leads to anxiety and depression. The effects of abandonment and emotional separation are similar to drug withdrawal, cohabitation, and mating, lead to increased levels of oxytocin and vasopressin hormones that enhance emotional attachments and activate brain areas associated with reward, so when parting occurs, withdrawal-like symptoms appear. In a recent study of human couples, social psychologist Lisa Diamond from the University of Utah observed withdrawal-like symptoms, such as irritability and sleep disturbances, along with an increase in cortisol in the initial period after separation too. Researchers believe that the pair bond evolved from the parent-child bond, which may explain why we feel the strength of romantic attachment, since the same neurochemicals oxytocin, vasopressin, and dopamine affect both parental and romantic relationships, and the results of abandonment and separation in the two types are similar. Diamond explains these results by saying, "We think that there is a radical difference between parent-child relationships and adult romantic relationships. But the truth is that they have the same functional purpose, creating a psychological motivation to be near the other person, the desire to take care of them, resistance to separation from them." How to get over the pain of parting and the shock of abandonment. There are many steps and things that help to overcome the pain of parting, to overcome the trauma of separation and abandonment of a loved one, including 3. 1. Face it and admit your feelings. It's no use denying, admit your feelings. Face the feeling of pain and don't run away from it. Recent research has shown that we feel emotionally wounded in a way similar to how we feel physical injuries. Phrases like broken heart, wounded soul, or painful feelings are not just metaphors, and according to a group of researchers from the University of Michigan, evidence suggests that emotional pain activates the same part of your brain as physical pain. Acknowledging feelings is the first step towards freeing them and alerts you to your need to take care of yourself and be kind to them. It is quite normal to get upset, feel sad, and break down after abandonment or separation. And even if the relationship is not positive, love is blind and has the ability to make people ignore flaws, and it is usual in the first period after the end of the relationship that good memories float to the surface. Even if the bad memories are more, it's a matter of time, and the liberation of feelings is part of healing. 2. Know that you are not alone. Statistics show that 98% of people have experienced one-sided love, not reciprocating love, or being abandoned. It's not about not being worthy of love, not necessarily as a result of your mistakes. Everyone is exposed to this emotional rejection, to abandonment by their loved ones, and this does not mean a shortage of them. Perhaps it's a shortage of immigrants, incompatibility, or many other pressures and circumstances. 3. Honestly evaluate your emotional behavior. Do you repeat one-sided love? Have you been rejected and emotionally abandoned more than once? If it is a recurring pattern, this does not mean that there is a lack of you or that you are not worthy of love, but rather indicates the likelihood that in childhood you went through the so-called insecure attachment, when adults abandon the child, or do not find them when he needs them. Although being rejected and abandoned in childhood is supposed to make a person careful not to get attached unilaterally or enter into an insecure relationship, but in many cases he unconsciously chooses someone with whom he repeats the same pattern instead of canceling it, which reinforces his feelings that he is unloved, as he thought in his childhood, or that he is doomed to abandonment, and that he should not trust anyone. The choice here confirms fears instead of offering a new, different experience. With the existence of various communication networks, it has become very easy to enter into flimsy relationships that often end in ignoring and leaving. So the importance of choosing well, being careful, not strongly engaging, and easily emotionally succumbing is multiplied in virtual relationships. On the internet, Meza Al-Nalawi, a psychologist at Hilalha, says in response to a woman who had an experience of being attached to a man on the internet that ended in abandonment and leaving without giving reasons. Online relationships always end in disappointment, and most of them are based on lies and deception with the intention of having fun, not marriage. He met you after 4 months of virtual love to see if he could continue with you or not, and he found you serious. You really want to get married, not have fun, so he disappeared. Perhaps he is already married or is not interested in getting engaged. The important thing is that you need to be convinced that he left you, for whatever reason, to preserve your dignity and self-esteem. Unfortunately, I was attached to the illusion of love, not to love. I got used to his communication routine and missed her after it became a daily routine. Forget about it completely and don't think about it anymore. Give it up and start a new page of your life taking into account this lesson you learned. Do not trust online relationships and do not hope for the best from them. Whoever wants a wife does not look for her in this way. Wait for the young man who comes with the intention of getting married in the real world, not the virtual one, and enters the houses from their doors. I deliver to you. 4. Coming out of regret after a breakup. In the most painful moments, you will wish that you had never met this person and never loved him. But the fact is that every experience you go through, no matter how unpleasant, is what makes you yourself, and it is what makes you more appreciative of yourself and blessings in your life after the stage of anger and sadness. You will reach emotional maturity. You will know the difference between fake and real love. You will appreciate yourself more and realize the value of security in relationships. 5. Self-recovery. In many relationships, attention is focused on we instead of I, and when the relationship ends with abandonment or separation, a person finds himself alone, with some fear and some sadness in this, but it carries a real chance of self-recovery. Everything, no matter how bad, has a silver lining, and the silver lining in case of separation and abandonment is freedom, freedom of self-exploration. Write down your list of all the things that you find even a slight desire to do, from learning a new hobby, reuniting with friends again, going on vacation, or building a new habit. 6. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Relationships rarely end consensually, or the parties agree on parting. One often surprises the other with the desire to leave, which increases the pain of the other, adds to the grief feelings of shock. In the shock of abandonment, it is normal to feel rejected and doubt your self-worth. Don't think about trying to take it back and focus instead on yourself. Close people and loved ones help to get through this difficult time. Ask for help without shame. If there are no friends and family around you who have the ability to listen, contain, and understand, hire a relationship coach, a psychologist. There is nothing to be ashamed of. A man ending his relationship with you does not mean that you are unloved or unworthy of love. Instead of searching you for your shortcomings and mistakes, focus on what you can do to feel better now. Talking helps a lot, but make sure you set boundaries with your friends and family about what you feel comfortable discussing and what you don't want to know or talk about your ex. 7. Realize the power of time. Time heals. This fact may not convince you at the beginning of the trauma, but with time, the feelings of sadness and pain will decrease, and remembering your previous relationship will no longer be annoying. The first period after abandonment or separation is the most difficult, full of moments of sadness and nostalgia. Help yourself to be free from guilt or self-blame for the end of the relationship. Trust that this period will pass. Mistakes after the trauma of abandonment and separation. Some mistakes that do not help to get over the shock of abandonment. Increase the feeling of pain. Prolong the recovery time. 1. Don't rush into a new emotional relationship just to ease the pain. Or try to forget. This is not only unfair to the new person, but also unfair to yourself. Take time to get over the pain and restore the relationship with yourself. Build new habits. 2. Don't confiscate love. It does not mean not to rush in the first period after the shock of abandonment towards establishing a new relationship, to confine your feelings and close your heart after it. Love is healing. Do not confiscate opportunities. All you have to do is improve the choice. Learn from the lessons of previous experience and then move on. 3. Don't think about revenge. Extreme anger from abandonment and ending the relationship provokes the desire to avenge dignity so strongly that it may make a person get involved in things that increase his pain and offend him even more. It is said that the best way to take revenge on those who have offended you is to be fine. Don't think about revenge. Be okay. Get back on your feet. Regain yourself and live your life. The desire for revenge is proof that this person still controls your thinking and feelings. 4. Don't try to get the ex-lover back. Feelings of withdrawal that occur after the trauma of abandonment, nostalgia for habits, and difficulty adjusting to the new situation emotionally and socially may push you to try to win back the former lover in every way. This will only increase your regret, anger, and frustration. 5. Don't be ashamed to get rid of everything that causes you pain. It may help to overcome the pain to ban your lover, your fiancé, ex-husband on social media, and may help in the first period to banish special memories, which evoke sadness and nostalgia from the phone or at home and car. In the end, time is the best remedy, provided that you help yourself to overcome the pain of abandonment and separation with positive inner talk, building new habits, appreciating yourself, not being ashamed to ask for help. Freeing feelings and acknowledging pain are the initial steps in healing.